and then being able to kind of move around freely was really liberating and really inspirational to me as a child. So that's the first thing that kind of planted that seed. The second thing was just their attitude, my parents' attitude towards life. My father was famous for saying, if you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. That was something that was always said. And then another thing he would always say is, if you're the best at something, they'll pay you to do it. And so we would always try to stump him like, well, what if I'm just the best trash man? Will I get paid millions of dollars? And his answer never changed. Yes, you will. What if I'm a teacher? Teachers only make $20,000, $30,000. Will I get millions of dollars that way? If you're the best, yes, you will. His answer never changed. And that definitely inspired me and went toward my work ethic. And that's how I always strived to live my life, was to just be the best at whatever I did. Always knowing that I have my own internal compass, and that my compass is not your compass. The experience that I have is not the experience that you have, so I bring my own personal expertise to anything that I do. That's one thing I taught me. The last thing that was, as far as entrepreneurship in my household, my mom, I would always tell my mom, I want to be a beautician, I want to be a stylist. And, you know, she encouraged that within me. I think I was just awestruck by beauticians. They had the prettiest lipstick, the biggest earrings, the deepest finger waves, and I just loved that, and I wanted to be a beautician. But she would always tell me, baby, you be a great beautician, but I don't want you to just do hair, I want you to own the shop. So that's also another piece of advice that I was always given. It has always stuck with me and almost haunted me. And even my son who's here today, I tell him the same thing. And he's the same way. He's very entrepreneurial, has started businesses, has had employees at his young age. So I say all of that to say that that was the younger years. Growing up, went off to high school. Things kind of shifted a little bit. I got pregnant at 16. I had my son in high school. I thought it was the end of the world. Thought that life was over. Embarrassed my parents, who were both ministers. That was pretty deep for me. But I got through it. Went to Howard University. I was an international business major. And I chose that major just because it sounded difficult. It sounded kind of tough. And that's the reason I chose that major. I really was interested in marketing or music, but I didn't go to school for that. I just felt like that was too easy, and I needed to kind of like man up, do something really hard. I have a son, and I need to make it happen. Well, in the midst of me being in school, my mom passed away from breast cancer, and things spiraled out of control. I was depressed, kind of dropped out of school, and again, I'm at a plateau and a peak, at a valley actually. And it's just like, okay, what happens next? Well, I got a bright idea, and I kind of dealt with it myself and pulled out music. I always sang growing up in the church, and minister's daughter. That was something that I did that not a lot of people knew.